All right, C1x Updates. I don't know what episode number it is, but it's a new one. Made a decent bit of progress since the last video. Let's go. Let me pop this up real quick. Just because I do not remember where I left off. You can see that I have made some changes. Quite a number of changes, actually. Let's go to channel. And so this is episode 11 that we're doing today. Okay, yeah. So put that center screen. So this is where we were at last time. I had the cards up top. I have not changed those at all from where I left them. But then I had a heat map graphic below that for release angles. And then we had other cards further down for... did we have other cards at all? I don't remember. Yes. Yeah, so we had these cards here for flight paths. So in the theme of trying to think about what users would actually want to see, I made a number of changes. So in the last video, we reduced the number of information that was on these cards for shot types, and then I kind of went down the same paths for release angles, and then flight paths. Kind of like the heat map idea for a couple of these, but also wanted some different variations of graphics. Try and make them fairly visual. So the design of these is certainly not finalized, but I like the information that I'm conveying here. So both of these, they have usage, they have scoring percentages broken up into segments, fairway hit percentages, that's only on our key shots, misses, common misses, I think this one is release angle, and then average execution grade. And release angles are all the same thing, with the one exception that misses, instead of being their own ring, are shown in the center. So that's what I have here. And then I was actually rushing over the weekend to try and get this put together, because I thought, it'd be, now that I have these graphics in there. I did go through also off camera. I used ChatGPT to put the graphics together. That's not new. It does do a great job of getting these to a good starting point. And then I went through and made sure all the information being passed was correct. I updated the design of some of these things. So I changed all the colors here, changed a couple of the graphics that are being shown. This one is not good, so that one will be getting changed. Yeah, had to change how some of the functions were working, just because ChatGPT doesn't know how I'm calculating my stats, and it's not good at me force feeding it that much information. So anyways, created the graphics, spent a lot of time going through and actually tidying up the back end of that. I was like, now if I score around using the deep stats feature in C1x, I actually get real data. Like, all this is correct, verified, and correct, based off of this test round that I scored, which uses the deep stats. So these are the stats for that round. So I was like, it would be cool to actually test it out during an actual disc golf round, just because I was playing a couple times this weekend. But then realized that just knowing how the scoring was working, the thought of having to enter all that information for every shot, swipe through the 6 screens, I realized that I didn't really want to do that. And then that sent up a massive red flag for me of, like, I'm the developer and I don't even want to use it right now. So that's not great. So previously, I guess I just closed the video. We had the 6 widgets, the swiping views to log all the deep stat stuff. And so my thought with the red flag was literally, like, I didn't want to do it, not because it didn't look good, but just because I was thinking about the amount of time and effort that I was going to have to put into every single shot, which was going to be a little annoying. So a new direction I'm trying is, instead of those graphics, I still have the code for that. I haven't removed any code for the views, but is to instead just have something like this. This is not a final appearance. My goal for the video today is to maybe get this to a point where it does look a little cleaner, but just putting all of the information in a single view. Like, it's not, maybe not as fun, but it will be much faster to use. And at the end of the day, that is probably significantly more important. So that's where we're at right now. This view does not work at all. I have actually in my deep round scorecard file, essentially I created a new widget, and that is, let's open these up at the same time. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. In our deep round scorecard, I basically just went up here, commented out all the normal widgets that I was using previously. And then we dropped in this new one, shot entry widget, which is what's creating this view right now. So now we got to improve it. We're going to try and do that one row at a time. Entry widget state. So here we're just building each individual row. Let's call this deep stats entry. If it loads, there we go. A lot of this stuff, like the background color, I think all of this looks pretty tacky. So we're gonna try and get rid of that a decent bit. I may actually just do, instead of gradient, we might just throw in a color. Might just do that right now. It feels like a better starting point. Border all color, comma, width 2.0. Probably needs to be a lot thicker than that. Do I actually even want it to be? Maybe I don't want a border at all. Maybe not. Let's go without border for now. I'm going to go black. We're not doing a font weight. We do font family, Lolita. Needs to be a lot bigger, yeah. What is our button font size here? Font size times shrink factor, 14 times whatever that's coming out to. I don't think that's going to be big enough. Yeah, it's a lot smaller. I'm trying to do this on a scale factor so that it works for smaller screens. That works. Okay, deep stats entry, container row, space between. Okay, so this is the handed color. I don't think I really need that. We don't need to show right hand or left hand. I am okay with doing something like this right now, just to show that it's there in case that's a spot that I do want to use in the future. But yeah, now we're going to go into each individual row here. And this is not, I used ChatGPT to help put the baseline for all this stuff together, but this is my first time actually going through and updating updating the appearance here. Why does this look so funky? Okay, and I guess maybe now we think about this. Do I want the labels off to the side? I think I do. I think that helps quite a bit. I do think that helps quite a bit. Black. Let's start incorporating my style presets here too. Deep style presets, progress bar, confirm slider, all deep stats logger. So let's go static bar logger label. We're going to call it the logger. Label color, colors.black. We'll keep that open as I need it. And this will be deep stats colors dot logger label color. So we can go ahead and just start dropping this in everywhere. Yeah, this just looks goofy. Looks goofy. Label color. Okay, do the same thing here. This actually would be nice. Let's just do this. Sized box. What was that? Angle? This is going to be a lot faster. Label subject to change as well. We're going to call this one flight, not path. We're going to pass button font size to this. Required button font size. And this is grade. Okay. And then we've got the miss row. Miss. There's far too much space there. They are also all missing the right font. No, we got an error. Oh, because I need to pass that. Okay. Okay. Font sizes we will adjust There's far too much spacing there, so maybe we can space between rows. Let's go final label. Let's make that 20. Const. Space after label, and then I want to space after label, space after label. We're going to drop that into every single one of them, and then I'm going to use those values. I'm just going to make sure that they're consistent. Trying to reduce the spacing here. Yeah, space after label, flight path, execution, and miss row. All right. Then we come down here. We've got after label, required space after label. We can do this one thing at a time here. Here, here. Then I'll go actually plug that value in. Almost there. Okay, good now. Missing a comma there. And let's go back up to shot type, and we're going to use space after label right here. Space after label. It's supposed to be a double. Make it a double, we're doing just fine. Okay. So let's go change them all to doubles. Slow process, but just trying to make sure that I'm pulling these all from the same value, which is not overly exciting, I understand, but it does need to be done. All right, and then up here, 0.0. Make sure it's a double. Okay, and then I actually need to use it. Space after label, here, here. I see. Okay. Is it going to make me regret that and wish that I kept it at the same value? Because I want to make the font size bigger too. All right, we'll go 60. Give it a little bit more space. And then, yeah, we got to think about the button designs here. We're not setting a width on those. Container and button height. We do have a width though, don't we? Can I calculate this? No. We got max W in there. Container width. So I wonder if up here, if I go like final button width is equal to, I need a max width to be passed to it. Max width minus space after label divided by 4. And then here we go with the button width. And then let's pass the width here. So button width. Right, isn't that what I just called it? Max width. Not even close. Max width. Max W. Size box. Row height. Container max width, padding, edge insets all is 8. So that's going to throw some issues there. Where else do I use max W? Just there. And what was my overflow? That's just 24 pixels. So it's close. Minus 16. Let's try that. Oh, of course it didn't even load. Okay, only by 8 pixels. Oh, it's because I'm missing the 8 pixel spacer too. That makes sense. I was thinking about getting rid of that anyways. So let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Back up to shot type row now. Options. Where do I define those? I'm defining those up here. Not that. Yeah, I was gonna say other fits. Okay. Another thing I'm gonna have to go through here and verify is I have to make sure that I'm still passing all this information the same way. Yeah, let's keep focusing on appearance here though. It would be fun to get some smaller versions of these 3D buttons. I mean, I can do that, I guess. They're gonna have to accept a distance, which, I mean, should all be fairly close. should be. All deep stats log button. Stats log button state. Okay. And then here I need button width and button height. Base width is going to go button width, button height, and then we're going to have, this is just going to be base width, this will just be base height. And then here we'll go base width times 0.9. Try 9.5. Base height, maybe a little bit less. 9.3, yeah. And then I'm going to try and call that here. We'll see if that works. It's like I wonder here, can I comment that out and then give me a all deep stats log button with these values, button width and button height we are still using. Label is O. Okay. And then on tap, is that going to be that easy? Maybe. Yeah, I'm not getting the color change. How did I? Let's remember how I did that here. Those other buttons really didn't have a color. What did have a color? Those did not. Courses did not. It was really just those other widgets that I was making. Under button designs, pressed is disable. Unpressed. Was that something that I built out locally? Where do we have it? We had it on release angle. I had these buttons, update value, get flight label, select option, build raised button. So I was calling it locally. Yeah. I was. So I think what I need to do is I need to have this. Yeah, this dot is active equals false. Under my deep style presets, we're going to have button base color. I mean, it'd be nice if it was still colorful. I could always have the colors be pretty unique when they're made active. That is an option. We could have, like, I don't hate these colors. What I have right here, where's that confirm? That's not it. Let's go to button designs. Yeah. Deep stats confirm button. What colors did I use? Scorecard icon. So I just matched. I see. Button colors, scorecard icon, base color. See how we could keep that the same way. I don't hate that actually. Thinking we just do this. Static logger button top color. Logger button label color equals scorecard icon. Yeah, just icon color. Okay. So we got those. Can hide this again. Can hide this again. So I've got a is active. Final is pressed equals widget dot is active. Okay. And then I guess we can try and make these a wee bit smaller. Let's go 9.3. Hitting the wrong button. 9.3 and 9. It doesn't look bad. I do think the border radius should be less. Yeah. And I don't know, I mean, a little bit of spacing between them would be nice. A little bit would be nice. We're thinking. I guess not overly important. We can leave that as is for now. That's fine. Let's lower the pressed a little bit. 2. Yeah. That seems like a good starting point there. The distance one is going to be kind of tough. Do I create new buttons for the arrows? Kind of thinking yes. What do I want to do first? I feel like I want to get all of this to match this, and then we can worry about the colors. I think so. Okay. Distance row, icon button. Icon button. Do I make a new one? I think I do. Unfortunately, I think I do. Do need a new one. This is going to be the scorecard. What do I want here? Tour courses, scorecard, options button. Probably, right? Button colors, top. No, is that right? Is that not what I want? Animated container, decoration, top color, top disabled color. I was passing top based on label color. Interesting. I'll just copy these two. That's an icon button. That's really what I need. Okay. No is I guess I'll leave that in for right now. False. Did I actually update the button design up here? Oh, what did I just do? Go away. Okay, log button state. I did not, but let's do it. Scorecard icon. Base color, yeah. Deep stats colors dot logger button base color. Top and label. All right, and here, this is instead going to be base width, base height, don't want either of those. Don't want that. Container widget dot base width, widget dot base height, This is interesting. 8, I guess. We'll go to 2. Let's stick with that. Let's go base widget dot base width times 0.93. That's fine. No, 8. Box shadow, whatever. Let's go base height times 0.85. That should fit within the top container. Okay, yeah, and then colors. We're going to get rid of those right now. I did build is active into this. This one actually doesn't need to be as active. Okay, so that's fine. So this will be deep stats colors dot logger button base color. We're going to use these again. Logger button top color and logger label color. Okay, and then instead of this icon button, I want to use the button that I just created. So all deep stats log icon button. All right, we can give this a go. I'll do 1, make sure it looks okay. We're gonna go icons, arrow left. My unpressed will be this. I'll just copy this. All right, and then size. There I went button width and button height. Which one? We already had button height. Distance row is also already going to have button height. So button height. All right, let's do a reset. Okay. It's not too bad. Definitely need spacing in between. So we can go const sized box width. How did I get there? Size box width 10, perhaps. I think that'll be good. Let's go add this Is it, are we working? Yes, okay. So we'll go get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. Oh, let me keep that actually for a second. Let's copy this down here. We'll copy this on pressed. Now we'll delete this. And then I want the spacing to be a bit more substantial here, so let's go 9 all the way around. Do a reset, and now we should have 2 buttons. I did not change the icon. 0, right. Okay. I think the width could be a little bit less. Width times 0.87. Yeah, just a little bit more of that 3D feel. Okay. And then this. I just use button height. Okay, so we'll go button height times 3. Okay. This will be deep stats colors dot logger button or logger label color. Font family Lolita. And let's get rid of padding. Interesting that it's not centered. Why are you not centered? If I do that, does that help? Nope. Nope. What about this? Nope. What about that? Nope. Why isn't it centered? Button width, container, button height. It does just feel slightly cut off here, but I don't understand why. Here? No. Oh, I don't. I thought I had an alignment in here, but I did not. Still not helping though. Like this text is not centered in the buttons, height-wise. That is only horizontally though. Is there a vertical? The more I lower the font, the more centered it becomes. Which I guess is good, but... Alright, well... I think that's where we're at right now. We'll roll with that, I suppose. I guess let's move on to angle. Release angle, let's go up to here. Shot type row. Grab our button, because that's what I intend to use for the release angles. Instead of gesture detector, it's literally going to be the same thing. We're just grabbing that. Yeah, this becomes the same thing. It's button width is equal to final double max width, required max width. And this is going to be max width divided by 4. Is that how I did it on shot type? Minus space after label. So that is what it needs to be. All right, and then we need to pass max width here. Minus 16 because of the padding. Yes. Okay, so now buttons. Buttons. Obviously they're not quite fitting, but so I think for the fix there, it's just going to be changing labels. Here we go. Hyzer, flat, Annie, and the roller. It would be nice to make the font size a little bit smaller there. I do think that needs to be something here. Final double font size. Required font size. And then here for the text, we're going to go set at 25. Okay. Font widget dot font size. All right, so up here was at 25. I wonder what button height is. Like, let's say I go font size button height times 0.85. I guess I'm not going to know until I do this. Size. Give me a reset there. Those are substantially bigger. All right, so let's go 6 and 7. Oops. Yeah. Excuse me. It's active, defaults to false. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's grab that again. Footing, actually I probably want the release angles one. I think footing is going to largely work the exact same way. Unselected is O, button width is still what's missing. Why I can't just pull the exact same thing here, I don't know. Let's go max width. Let's go divided by 3. Just a little bit bigger. Let's go past max width up here. Okay, and I did want to get rid of those options. No normal option is what I meant. Stand still. And if we go down to footing, font size I want to be substantially smaller. Okay, yeah, we'll have to see if that holds up on a smaller phone. For flight path, it would be really cool to get them all to fit. And reducing the number that have to show based on the shot or angle selected. I'm not going to show spike hyzer if anhyzer release angle is selected. But I don't think that's going to work because I could see myself needing to add shot types down the road. That one could also be arrows as well. That might work. It could be the carousel, a carousel within a carousel, like how this works right here. I could sneak one of those in there. That would be... I think I like that better than the arrows, at least. We can try it. That's going to be this will be a ChatGPT prompt, but we can give it a shot. see what it's got for me. Whoa. Whoa. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Sure. This will be okay at the moment, I think. So then what we'll have here, if they're going to look like that, a little bit of spacing between them would be nice. No, I don't mean to click on that. Deep stats colors dot logger button label color. Weight is Lita, comma. Box decoration. Top color, I suppose. That's a thick border. Yeah, it's not the same as those, but item builder. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't love this flat option selected, but we can come up with something there. It's at least a step in the right direction. Let's just knock the rest of these out. Leave that one there for now. Execution grade row. This is a scale. Execution grade. Plant to a whole integer value. Like this function, but should that one be arrows as well? I think it should be. I need this functionality, but I instead accomplished with 2 arrow buttons, a label via a design that exactly matches what I have below. Produce a new widget to perform the execution grade functionality using the below widget. That's something that's going to be faster for me to just do on my own, actually. It might genuinely be. It just might be. Execution grade row. This becomes grade. Just let it do it. All right, distance. And what we'll call an execution grade row is what we need. Execution grade row. Okay. All right, and then misvalues are going to be the same as these, not the flight path. is it going to be the same? Should I have something else here? We could do icon buttons. It could be is active. Let's go to these guys, close those out. This one gets a final bool is active, and that'll be here. False, so not required, but if it is, I can pass it. I'll use icons here. And all of these are going to be a label. And then I think I can fit every single one of them. This is going to be tough on a small phone. This is not going to be great. But I do just really love the idea of everything being nice and accessible on one screen. Yes, let's go down a grade. I need the icon button. And then here it's going to be a return padding only. We can do that. I can get rid of this. And then I can say I'm using the below icon button to, again, let the user select where they shot. Icon options for each miss in this code should be represented. Long, right, high, or left, right, high, low, long, short, middle, wrong, disk. Miss icons. All right, let's go down to the miss row. We're going to drop this here. Use this inside your loop, like so. Okay. I see. So this should actually, this is the time where I need to start incorporating labels already. Miss left. Miss right. Miss high, miss low. Miss short. Miss long. Missed release angle. And missed wrong disc. All right, and then I need to use those same ones down here. Miss left, miss right, miss high, miss low. All right, and now give me a reset there. Yeah, nice. Yeah, there's definitely still some stuff to fix here, but we'll get there. But I do like these options here. It is a bummer that they don't quite fit. It's like, is there ways for me to get different options here? I don't really want to combine, like left and right should be different misses, high, low should be different. I mean, we could just make it scrollable. I don't want to do that, but it's an option. It almost is appearing like it is scrollable here. It says it's not overflowing, but if I could get rid of one option, I could make everything else fit great, but I don't quite think I can do that. How can I make them all fit? How can I do it? I don't want 2 rows. I don't really want to make the button smaller. Cause like this phone is already big. Like that's closer to what it's gonna look like. Those are gonna be tough to tap as it is. So what do I do? What do I do? Excuse me. I guess we'll just make it scrollable right now. I'm not excited about it, but... Oh, will it... Hold on. It is supposed to be scrollable. It is actually already set up to be scrollable. But it's totally not scrolling. Okay. That's unique. Oh, because it's set up to prevent scrolling. Yeah. Okay, that's fine for now. This feels like an okay start. So important things, most important thing left to do is to now get it working with my existing code, right? Like that's definitely going to be focus number one. But which is really like I'm printing out down here what the current string looks like getting passed from this widget, so I just need to make this string look like what I was passing previously. And if I have that, then we're in business. And then at a minimum, this one view is at least doing what the other view was, and then this makes... I don't know. This feels like it's at least easier for me to want to go do myself. It's just one screen. Still got to enter the landing in, but otherwise it's one screen. Right? Is this better? Is this better than what I had previously? I don't know. I do what we can. Let's go take a peek real quick. Just a quick little peek. I'm going to start by commenting this out. And then we're going to uncomment out the rest of these guys. So, once again, this is what we had previously. I did spend quite a bit of time on it. So it's not something that I'm like throwing away lightly, but just feels like a lot. Like it looks easier, kind of, but I just don't think it is. I don't think it is. It looks better than this, obviously, at first. This still has some work that needs to be done on it, but it's simpler at least. It'll still gather the same data. You know, we can still get this information from it. In terms of like what the user gets to see as from the breakdown of their round, you know, it doesn't change anything. I'm just trying to improve the ease of entering this information in. And then the idea is that like clicking backhand, forehand, etc. will light things up. They'll have their own colors. Like I guess I can't judge the aesthetic of this view right now too much. It's more so is it better than what I had previously? And I think in terms of at least making it immediately understandable for users, it probably is. It probably is the right direction to go in right now. I'm still going to keep the same code, so if I'm wrong and people really want the different views, then that'll be an option. But it'll be something I could quickly implement. It will not be an option to users to start with. But I intend to get this finished up and then start to test it myself. If the testing myself goes okay, then the goal will be to probably improve these graphics a little bit and add a few more, and then start to do some testing with other users. Not a public update by any means, but I've got some a few people that would I think enjoy giving this a test run. Maybe a couple touring pros that could give it a shot, provide some feedback. So yeah, we're gonna call it there for today. A step in the right direction, I think. All right, that'll wrap it up for this video. As always, if anybody finds this after the fact and you have comments or questions or want to chat about coding or disc golf in general, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment down below. Or reach out to me through C1x or through my website or any of the other things linked in this video or on the channel. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.